Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, Bitchute channel, and my Facebook page, all at True Divine 44. You can also get me on the True Divine on Twitter and Instagram. Any likes, shares, follows, all of the other things that we're trying to get today to make our message heard. I appreciate them all, and I love you all so much for doing so. So this is me coming on here for a writing on the wall. Obviously, today is a big day in the US, and there's a lot going on in the background. There's a lot of things I've picked up on that I won't even speak of here, really. And there's a lot of moving parts. And of course, in the collective, that's felt. And so I just want to bring some, hopefully, peace, balance, hope, appreciation of life, love, a compassion. I just want to bring some feminine up in this space, some divine feminine. It's what I can do. It's part of what I'm here to do, and part of the mission I feel. And so I think what better day than just to come on here and ramble a little bit about how I've been feeling into the energies today, how I feel I can maybe help some people today, and just say some right words in the right context to meet the right hearts, male and female, to speak to the divine feminine in both genders in order to bring this balance and hopefully wholeness. And you see, I always say love, balance and wholeness. And I don't just say that fleetingly at the end of my comments in reply to other comments on my videos. I say that each time with intent. I figure it's a really good way of encompassing what will really lift the frequency within people, within individuals. Love. I can love you all. I can say to you, I love you all at the end of my videos. Because yes, I understand and have experienced one-on-one love. I've experienced also with partners, I've experienced also the love that I've been given the gift of feeling in this lifetime for my children. And I've felt how different that love is for each child, but in equal measure. I've felt how different it is to love a child that isn't on this physical plane, and how I had to learn, just like I've learned all of the other mothers that I am to each and every one of my children, 4 in total, that Ethan was no different, in that just like all of them have given me the challenge to find out who they are and how I mother this person, how I mother this little new being that I've brought through my portal into this physical reality. How do I get to know them? How do I get to know how they intake knowledge and understand knowledge best? And believe you me, every single one of them is so different. And I think every mother would say that. Every father would say that. We're met with these challenges to find out about these little beings, and we're doing it on the hop. We're doing it while work and shopping and cooking. All the routine stuff is hitting us, right? All of that routine is hitting us all of the time as we're learning on the hop, learning on the job, so to speak, to find out about this little being and how to express the love that we need to express to them. And it's different for each child for me, but yet equal in measure. Now, there's not many other things that I can think of just off the top of my head, what you can absolutely say in any other scenario that is compounds that are so different, but have them all come out in equal measure. And that's where the love part of what I say in at the end of each comment that I reply to people is that I can love you without knowing you. It's unlike any other thing. It's endless expansion of possibilities in itself. To picture how many times love is shown in very different ways. So many ways that you can't list, because then each individual in this physical realm shows and expresses that love differently and requires a different kind of love. And this is where I can say genuinely, today and every other day, I love you all. I even love what people would call my so-called enemies, which is a joke, because even that, I refuse them to be seen as enemies. I see them as a reflection of myself. There's a part of myself that I needed to look at, that I need to either be proud of or take note of, to work on through the reflection of even them. I can say I love you all to the people who listen and support me, because I'm an energy worker. I work with energy. I've known energy through my fingers since I can't remember when, and even my mum would say I would play with it. She would see that, just lie awake, transmuted it. So I can pick up on your energy and your intent, and I can feel that, and I can appreciate that. And in a certain measure, I can know what I need to send back, what I need to send out to the collective of you, what I need to receive from you. And so that's one thing. Balance. Balance is key. To be balanced is a constant process. It's not, oh yeah, I'm a shaman, I'm a guru, I'm balanced, done. That's me, that's that lesson learned, that's finito, I've got this. It's not like driving. You don't just do it once and then that's it, done, because this is life. This is an unfolding, endless possibility that continuously throws in different ingredients into the pot as it unfolds. So it's never a road that you've been on ever again twice, each day being different, either extremely so or slightly so, but different. Different energetically, different physically, different mentally and emotionally. And so to be balanced is a continuous process. And believe you me, you only know that you can be balanced when you're getting challenged. You wouldn't feel, if you were continuous in balance after one lesson of balance, you wouldn't know that you were in balance, because you wouldn't be able to feel the other aspects that are existing. So to be balanced in our internal cross, we have to know that we can feel external forces either side, and we may tilt into them every now and again. But, you know, the key is to be in the master, to be in the God of self, the goddess of self, is to feel that tension, feel that torsion, and be able to work your way back to balance. Because each balance point is different in each tension on either side. So you have to find different balances constantly with this unfolding, endless possibility of life. So you're never just done. Wholeness. Wholeness is where, again, it's not done, got it. I meditated real hard, and you know, I did it, I cracked the code. I have wholeness. You can have, as you learn, as you gain this hidden wisdom, knowledge, you can have a greater sense of wholeness, a greater being of wholeness than less as you go along. But wholeness, again, like balance and love, is ever the same but ever changing. In that wholeness, again, is met with external forces that are different each and every second, each and every minute, each and every hour, each and every day. And so again, where you find your love, regardless of the tensions on either side of you, where you find your balance, again, regardless of the tensions on either side of you, this equals wholeness. This equals you feeling whole. Not relying on feedback in general, but relying on yourself being able to transmute that energy and create this sense of wholeness. From there, you can act in a loving, balanced, whole way. And so today, while you're feeling these tensions, while you're feeling the feelings that you have personally, as well as the external energy imprint, keep in mind the love, balance, and wholeness. Let it be a mantra today, and let hopefully this explanation be in some way and form, even a doorway to you gaining those three aspects of self and projecting yourself from those three aspects and projecting that into the collective in a positive manner. To not enter into the game of judgment of others, to not enter into the game of choosing a side, but entering into the game of projecting yourself from those three spaces, from the trinity of you: love, balance, and wholeness. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you something to work on today to bring about these quite overwhelming energies that I'm feeling from the collective, and not just from the US, but from this this rolling change of rapid change yet stillness, because a lot of people are waiting in that fearful space on bated breath. What's going to happen now? A lot's going to happen. But if you can be from the space of love, balance, and wholeness, you're going to be not only an asset to yourself, but as warriors here, even the term warriors, sorry to go off again, but even the term warriors, you know, I feel like a warrior. I meet you guys energetically online, I meet people in the physical, and I know warriors. I see many warriors from all different walks of life. Even that term is an expectation that you have to warrior through. Not worry through, warrior through. Forces that are going to try and get in your way, try and get in your path. And I think some of the greatest warriors of all that I've met have been people that have got their ego in enough check, have got their inner standing in enough check that you'll very rarely see them get into a fight, physical or verbal, because they know that actually it's the thoughts and words and deeds that actually are the biggest asset to them. If you think of, and this is going off on a tangent, but like The Sopranos, the movie, if you think of that world, they you know, you think you do research on the families and whatnot, and you think, well, if they were so big, why did they let them get away with that? And I'm not going to quote names and things, but in case I get anything wrong, because you know what my memory can be like, but why did they let that family get away with that for so long when they were so much bigger and so much more powerful? Why did they, you know, if they were so powerful, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why? Because they've learned along the way that once there's a blowout, once there's a gunfight, once there's a murder, once there's that end, last resort, there's a lot of money to be lost. There's a lot of dignity to be lost. There's a lot of life to be lost. And so a little bit like how a bank likes to keep hold of your money and takes time to transact things when they can to earn interest along the way, even if they know that the end result is that we're more powerful than you and we can do this. But we're going to let you get away with a little bit here and there until it gets to a point of, okay, now stop. No more divides, no more dueling, no more fighting, no more sides. We're just going to take you out. It takes a long time to get to that point because they understand the loss once that point is done, and it has to be timely, it has to be divine timing, it has to be in a way that they can compress the amount of backlash. So even those warriors, you see, where people are feeling like warriors, being nasty to this side or that side, real warriors are sitting back and saying, I'm not entering into that. Because either way, these are birthing pains. Either way, something is coming about. That's definite. Things are changing. Frequencies are changing. I know the soprano type people aren't saying these things, but they're thinking along the same lines. They are in the waiting. And they actually know that along that way, in the waiting, the most powerful thing to them is their words, their thoughts and their words. And when you watch those movies, you see them say very little. It's that kiss on the forehead, isn't it? And, the greetings, the goodbyes, but very little being said. It would be good if the warriors, light workers that are here to help liberate minds and hearts in this lifetime, it would be great if we could take a leaf out of that book, again, everything reflecting in on everything. And while we're waiting, instead of being in anticipation, instead of being in fear, and instead of being enticed to go to the defense of either side, realize, like these families do, how powerful your stillness is, how powerful your words are. Speak little, but be concise when you do. You actually get listened to more. And so where we've been fed into this game of even shouting out on social media and draining ourselves of precious energy and letting ourselves be known to a great extent to outside forces, where some of that is necessary, the extremity of it actually takes away from us. It takes away from the validation of our words, because when things are just said, they lose context, they lose power. So store those thoughts up of positive love, balance, and wholeness, and project that out with concise, to the point, energetic words. Then through your deeds, manifest that through your manifestations, through your projections, through your protections. So that was a bit of a waffle on about, and I hope that made sense about the Sopranos. I don't know why that came up. But that kind of stillness sometimes can feel like a weakness, and that would be us being fooled into what we actually, by the forces that are of lower frequency, are trying to entice us into. It weakens us. It brings us out of our space of observance, which is on higher ground, into the game. And right now, believe you me, the people who are behind the very lowest frequency things that go on here, the things that we would want to put an end to, they are hot in the game right now. That, for I don't care who you are, what kind of being you are, is energetically draining. Mistakes are made. And the more they're not getting the response that they want from as many people as we can possibly get to not give them that response, i.e. being drained through social media, like milked energetically, arguing with our loved ones, you know, who are asleep. The more that we can stay in that place, the more worried they will get, because there's a lot of distractions going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of suspicion of each other. And so this is where we have the higher ground, being observant, not entering into this energetically milking game. This is where we can stay focused. This is where we can bring in the light into the darkness. And because we haven't been, you know, 1,000 miles a minute with this, because we've been cultivating the thoughts, just like we cultivate and nourish a baby in the womb, we've been cultivating our thoughts, cultivating our feelings. And from this balance point, from the heart chakra to the mind, we are balancing out. And the more that we can stay in those thoughts while those words are being created in the mouth, in this womb, the more we can stay in these thoughts before we speak them, the more that we can refine these thoughts, filter these thoughts before we speak them out, the better, the more potent they're going to be, the more energy they're going to have behind them. And in the meantime, while you're doing this, you're growing, you're expanding, you're getting an even greater sense of self. Because believe you me, when you start concentrating on this being a womb, when you start, you know, realizing that this is a balance point between your heart and your mind, both with brain tissue, when you start reaching this balancing point, it'll give you a mirror to self for more inner work. It'll give you a place from self for more inner work, where you will be able to see that, why do I want to say that? Why did I make that judgment? Why did I think that immediately? Why was that my first response to that comment or that photograph or that headline? And there'll be a lot of words that you swallow and digest and ultimately expel. So even that gives you a gift here, a key here in this situation that you find yourself in today, in this space that you find yourself today. This is another gift, another key of understanding self more, growing from self more, expanding more in your own knowledge, in your own insight of you, the greatest book of all. So this is where we need to be today, I feel, as warriors, light workers, however you resonate with yourself. I feel like I'm all of them. And I don't mind admitting that. I don't like labels, but I know the English language makes us do it. And I trip myself up all the time thinking, I don't know, how do I explain myself? How do I describe what I do without giving it a label? And so this is where I struggle with that, actually. That's one thing that I'll have to look at often. So, but however you resonate, you're all of them anyway. And so this is where we need to be today. So I hope that helps. It's a ramble. It's a thought process after coming out of meditation and thinking, I'm just going to speak that out. All of the things that I was thinking on, all of the things that were helping me transmute the energies that I was feeling today. And so hopefully it'll reach the right ears, the right minds, the right hearts, and I'll have fulfilled that role for today. I appreciate you all, love you all, stay balanced and stay whole. If you'd like any spiritual work, any spiritual coaching, energy work, any tarot readings, you can get in touch with me at truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my Facebook page at truedivine44. I appreciate you all. Mwah.